Hi, Mary.
Yeah,
How you doing?
good.
And to those of you that are watching or listening, we're at the Vault at Marmo. This is the Vault Studio, and we're on episode 16 of the Mary Bratton story, otherwise known as Focus Your Inner Bitch.
Yeah.
So let's begin.
Okay. Um, this is right as I purchased my house, okay?
We
We
began
have
that,
we
yes.
began that. Now, I just want to make sure you and all of our listeners know that I didn't have any money at that time, okay? I just was poor. So I told you that I um edged everybody's grass so that I could get grass to grow in my yard and I talked to all the kids, and I had them help me tell the grass to grow, grow, grass, grow.
Oh, so they spoke on your behalf.
Yes, everybody. I said, anytime you pass by here, you tell that grass to grow.
Right.
And and they did, and I watered and took care of everything. Finally, when I got a little money, I talked my sweet daddy into helping me rewire the house or to add more plugs and that kind of
You
thing.
didn't have to talk. You didn't have to convince you very much,
Well,
did
not
you?
very much at all.
He was
He
willing
wa
to do anything for his daughter.
anything to help me, yes,
Yeah, I know.
and he was so darling. Oh, and get this, the week that I have taken a week of vacation to do this,
Right, right.
well, the fellow that I was dating from South America came into town.
Oops. And your dad is trying to wire
My
that.
dad is trying to wire the house.
Oh,
And, of course, this fella is wanting me to just take time off and be with him, and I said, "I cannot do that to my daddy." And so, um, anyway, that was an interesting scenario.
did he stay your boyfriend at that time?
Yes,
Well,
he
good
did
for him.
stay.
Was he expecting you to stay at your place?
And he did?
Whoops.
Yes.
How did you handle that?
Well, I had a sofa bed, so we opened up the sofa bed and, had it all made up like he was sleeping there and I was sleeping in my own bed.
So you what? And you ruffle it up every time so your dad could see that it looked like they'd been slept in?
Exactly.
That's dishonest.
I know, but did it matter? No.
And your dad didn't have a clue?
I don't
He did.
he knew.
Of course he
Of
did.
course he knew.
He's not stupid.
Exactly.
He was in the military twice. So,
Of course he was. So anyway, he knew, but he didn't confront me with it. So we were, working our little hearts out, and it was in the summer
right.
or spring, I can't remember, but anyway, it was hot, and we were working in the attic, so it was crazy. And of course, I didn't have any insulation in that house, so it was, like a sieve. And so, of course, then as I could, I would buy some insulation and haul it up to the attic
A
and,
piece at a time.
yes, whatever I could do to put insulation in because it had no insulation, none.
Wow.
And so, yes, we worked a lot on that house. And of course, I didn't have money to buy plants or anything either. So I begged everybody to give me cuttings of things that grew easily. And so they did. And I put them all out and I said, okay, uh, get this stuff to grow. And by God, I did get it to grow. And then when the winter came, I would put it all on a cart and haul it in the garage and, when it was too cold for the plants and, in the sunny days or warmer days, I would haul that little cart out, and then when it was summer, I always declared it summer, March the 15th, so I hauled all the stuff back out, and if we had a freezing day after that, well, too bad.
They're on their own.
Slow, they were on their own, exactly. But, and I always declared it winter about 1st of December probably, so anyway, um, but I had, quite a few plants and, we worked real hard on getting that little house,
Oh, I know.
taken care
I'm
of,
thinking about the attic.
straightened up, And I wanted recessed lighting put uh, in the uh, eaves of the house because they were stuck out about this far.
Right, right.
So about a foot and a half. And so I had some recessed lighting put in there and took care of that. And I mean, so that, I could see.
It was a super
It
nice
was a
house.
nice little
It
house,
was.
little 2-bedroom house. I loved
With a
it.
nice porch in the front
Loved
and
that
into the
porch.
living room.
I enjoyed that porch a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Of course, you could sit and watch the
yes,
world go by.
exactly. Watch everything go by, and I watered all the time, and I had a good time in that little house.
Can I how many times did you poke yourself in the head with a nail sticking through the roof in an attic? That is the most dangerous thing.
I know.
The crawl space is never very big, and somebody's always jammed a bunch of roofing nails
Right.
through the sheeting on the
No.
roof.
And that's why I'm as cuckoo as I am, I guess.
Is that what did it? What I wondered all this time I've been looking for cause and effect. And 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 now we know.
Yeah.
I can just picture you buying your insulation a piece at a time to drag up there,
Oh my
and there's nothing.
No, it was in those big bundles. You know how those that was because it was loose. Or, it was like
Oh,
in a
like a roll.
bale.
Yeah.
No, not a roll, because that would have been easier. No, this was
Well, was it individual
kinda like in a
thicknesses?
bale.
Yeah, but
And
you had to break them apart.
I would have to break it apart, and of course I couldn't take the whole thing up there at one
I'm
time.
thinking.
Exactly.
And you did that by yourself
So
most of didn't you?
yes.
When
And
did
of
you
course,
decide to do something, Mary?
during that time, I only had a little, square hole to get, up into the attic from my, kitchen. I did not have a pull-down
You didn't have a
stairwell.
ladder or anything? How do you
I had a ladder that I borrowed from daddy,
and you went through
and
the
I
little
kept
trap
it,
door?
and I went through that little trap door to get shit up there. Oh
Look
my.
at thing, you're small. I could just see you dragging. That
Yes.
insulation is so nasty.
Oh my god, it was.
This
You're
I
right.
mean, this
It
this stuff
was.
would get if you all haven't worked with this at all, it gets in your pores and in your skin,
Yes, and it feels awful.
and the more you wash, the
Scratchy.
worse it gets.
Yes, it's like it sticks further into your skin. Anyway, I was
Okay, so
we worked
this is you doing your house with no money.
with no money, exactly. And I mean, anytime I had a little extra money, that's what I would do. So I wasn't really going out and having a good time. I was busy pouring money into my house. And that's when, let's see, I guess a year or so into it, uh, I got the newsletter from the Civic
Right?
Association, and that's when I decided. I don't think you had named um, newsletter yet. It came with, like, question marks on it or
Well,
something.
we had like a naming contest
Naming
something.
yes, yes.
It was not the Eastwood Voice at that time.
No, it was not. So, anyway, it was interesting, but anyway, when I decided, well, if I'm gonna live in this neighborhood, I've got to, participate. I've got
Yeah,
to be civically active.
yeah.
And so I went to the first Civic Association meeting, and of course, that's where I met you.
I am so glad that we met.
Thank God.
I'm not sure it was to your benefit, but I'm glad you stuck. Guys, we stuck together for 45 years. All right, so
Now, we didn't start dating right away.
oh, I know. Oh, well, I had to. Well, never mind. Can
No,
oh shit.
you invited me to your he was just begging me, "You've got to come by his house, gotta come by his house, gotta come by," and of course, this is before cell phones. So when I get up the nerve to go by his house and knock on the friggin' door, who is there but, there's another girl there, remember, what was her name? I know her name. Anyway, she had been married to this guy that lived in the neighborhood as well.
Oops.
Anyway, um, I said, "Oh my, how are you?" And you just invited me in, and hell, you had 2 women in your house, and it was interesting. Anyway, I bowed out fairly quickly, but
I had forgotten about that. Jesus. And why did you even bother with me, Mary?
Because you begged me.
There was not much. I didn't have my redeeming value at that time.
Well, that's true.
I did have an Oldsmobile Delta 88 company car.
No, you didn't have that yet.
Oh, shoot. I had a Granada then.
You had a. Did you have a
I
Granada?
think it was a Ford Granada.
Okay.
It was that was they tried to pawn that thing off as a Mercedes light car. Remember it? It was like a, I don't know, maroon in color.
Oh, anyway,
Had a dent in the side, or I
that's what-
backed into a post with it.
That's what. Yeah, you were not driving your Oldsmobile then. No. Let's see. Oh, but you had that Mercedes that you kept leaving in the driveway. You said it was a
Burglar.
burglar alarm or a burglar deterrent or something.
Maybe people, the fact that the tires were getting a little bit low and it never moved probably didn't make it much of a deterrent. But that thing,
That was so funny.
I think I drove it like 3 times, maybe.
Yeah. Well, let's see. And then I went to an outing that we had at our company that was a roller skating event.
Right.
And
yes, I know what's coming.
I broke my left ankle. That's my good foot. I broke my left ankle. And I walked on it for 3 weeks before.
Broken, completely broken.
Yes, broken.
Well, that's because you had such a threshold for pain by the
But
time.
I walked on it for 3 weeks before I decided to go to the doctor. Everybody told me it was just a bad sprain.
Well, because you could walk.
Because I could walk, right.
They had no idea of the threshold.
Right. And so finally, when I kept waking up at night because the covers were too heavy,
Right.
when I was turning over and the pain was so great, I went to the doctor and he said, "You wouldn't be able to walk on it if it's broken. Don't worry, it's not broken."
Boy.
So here he sends me to go get an x-ray and he says, "Don't worry, it's not broken."
Because you wouldn't be able to get around.
Because you wouldn't be able to get around. And you know who that was? It was Dr. O'Donnell.
Well,
Okay,
he
so-
treated everything with penicillin. He had penicillin by the barrel in the back of his office. Gee, Minnie.
Yes, that's true. Anyway, so he calls me
Yeah.
and he says, "Well, it looks like your foot is broken."
That must have pained him to say that because he did not like to acknowledge that he was wrong on anything.
That he was not right. Exactly. So he says, "Meet me at the hospital in the morning."
Yeah.
So to get a cast put on.
But that's when your doc would still do that. Same doc was going to put the cast. You didn't have to go through 3 levels of specialists to get the cast put on.
No. So I say, "Well, can I have a walking cast?" And he says, "No, because you've walked on it for 3 weeks and it's already started healing."
Oops, the wrong way.
So he said, yes. He says, "So you're not to walk on it for 6 weeks." Oh, man.
So here you are, Miss Independence, climbing the attic through a tiny hole in the ceiling.
Yes. Anyway, I couldn't do anything for 6 weeks. I was on crutches.
My opportunity, guys.
Yes. My grandmother said that you were sent by God to help me, to save me from old maidhood. But my mother said it was because I broke my leg and I couldn't get around fast enough to get away from you.
So what's your call? Was I sent by God or was I?
I don't know. It was
Son-
my mother and my grandmother's take on the situation.
Well, I think your grandmother was right.
Sent by God to save me from old maidhood.
Anybody believe that? Anyway. Wow.
So we dated off and on. I was still dating other fellas.
Well, yeah, and I was like, man, off
Oh.
and on.
Okay, so wait a minute here. I broke my leg and I couldn't get around very well.
No.
So I think the second week into it, or maybe the third week into it, you decided that you would take me to dinner every night.
Yep.
And you did take me to dinner almost every night.
Yep.
And
That was just my lifestyle then. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm going to go out to eat, we might as well do it together.
okay, so we went out to eat, and we ate at Ballatori's regularly.
Yeah.
Regularly, and that was a very nice Italian
was.
restaurant.
In the old tradition, by the way, Sergio Ballatore was the proprietor. He was always there. He would greet you. Anyway, yeah, in the tradition of
It
a
it
fine
was
casino
it was a
restaurant.
very nice restaurant,
Yeah.
and you always had the same thing in Voltini.
Yes.
And as I said, I was still dating other fellas,
Oh man,
and
holy
so, let's see, I guess, after I'm out of the cast, I'm dating another fellow, and your parents had come to town
which, by
to
the way,
bring
happens maybe, I don't know, once every 5 years max at that time.
No, they didn't come every 5 years,
Well, every day.
they never came.
Okay, all right.
I think it was their first time to ever come.
You're right about that. It wasn't every 5 years, guys. It was just,
I
was-
think they only came twice,
it was random.
and that was that time, and then they came for when we had our celebration of our wedding.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway,
Just sort of.
they, he's taken them to Ballatori's, and my date says he wanted Italian food. I said, "Well, the only place I know is Ballatori's." So we went to Ballatori's, and where did they sit me and my other fella? Right next to Jim and his parents.
Of course. Sergio did that on purpose.
I know he did. God.
It was, I remember it being, I felt a bit awkward about it. I can't remember exactly where it went from there, you know?
Let me see what happened. Oh, I know. So my fella is spending the night, and you call me.
Of course I did.
Oh, wow. And I say, "What in the hell are you doing calling me?" I mean, I'm in
Right.
bed with this other guy. Anyway, I got after you for calling me, and I asked you not to call me back.
You know, I think out of just, I don't know, self-protection, have forgotten much of this. Or, I mean, I know it's in my memory someplace, but I have elected not to,
To remember this.
yeah, not to put it on the top of my memory.
Okay. So then it's the time that where you start, I guess you were freaked out or something. When we would get too close,
Yeah.
you would run away, and you'd be gone for 2 or 3 weeks. And then you'd sort of try to come back and call me and act like it was absolutely that you had talked to me, half an hour before or so. And one of the times I told you, I said I was ready to be number 1 or number 3, 4, 5, or 6, but I was not ever going to be number 2. So stay out of my life. Get out of my life. And so you do for a couple of weeks, and then you call me back. And my parents happened to be at the house
Yeah.
when you call me back. And I say, "Listen here, Jim Bratton." I said, "I am not dealing with this.
Yeah.
So if you run away out of my life again, you're never coming back. Period."
And when she says something, she means it. Okay. She doesn't deviate. If she makes a commitment, she does not deviate from that commitment.
I said, "Jim, this is it. Never again will I see you if you run away."
Yeah.
And so you did your damnedest to stay. And sometimes you would even tell me, "Mary, I feel like running away." And I would say, "Jim, run away if you want to, but know that you're never coming back." And this is the way I would hold you. My hand open.
Yeah.
Leave if you want to,
Yeah. Yeah.
but know you're never coming back. And
You know, that's a little bit uncomfortable
you-
for me.
I know you told me that at least 2 or 3 different times, and I would always say the same thing. Leave if you want to. I don't care if you date somebody else, but know that you are never coming back.
Oh, man.
Okay, now wait a second. Let me go back to this.
Yeah.
I think during the time that you were taking me out for supper all the time,
Yeah.
while I have this broken leg, I think that is when you asked me to marry you for the first time. And I just laughed out loud because it was too funny. How could I want to marry somebody that I barely was dating and barely knew? I mean, that was stupid on your part, if you ask me. But
I
no longer do I think it was stupid. You wanted me.
Well, I'm glad that you've to acknowledge that maybe it wasn't as stupid as you thought it was at the time. I mean,
But you never asked me again. When we started hanging out on a more regular basis,
right,
um, you would say things like, "What will it take for you to um, be able to live into my house, move into my house?"
right.
And so you started doing things. I said, "I need a makeup table." So you made me a makeup
The
table.
makeup table. That's right.
Uh, but before that, I think you made me a sewing room in my house.
I did.
R
I used all that pegboard,
Yes.
built a pegboard bed, and I had a brand new airless sprayer. So I took the airless sprayer and sprayed everything. That's about the only way you paint pegboard. Paint pegboard, by the way. Little tongue twister
No,
there.
but it was great. It was great. I remember you're making me a sewing,
Had shelf and a work
rest
surface
a
and
work
everything.
surface and everything, and I had taken sewing lessons and made several outfits, but do I know how to sew now? No.
That's okay.
But,
We have a costumer here at Marmo that can do anything we need, and your sister is a great,
anyway,
great seamstress. So
that is so true. So, um, let's see, you would say, "What else?" Something else about, um, what do you need to be able to be comfortable in my house? Well, I needed a closet, and so you built out the closet under the stairway
yeah,
for me,
yeah.
and,
Furnace was there before.
I know.
Who needs a furnace?
We took that furnace out.
Oh
Oh
shit!
god,
That furnace. I think it was the furnace that
It
came with the house. It had a
I
furnace and an attic fan,
yes.
and the furnace. I'm glad I took it out.
It
Probably would have burned the house
would
down
have been
if it ever lit.
yes, exactly. But anyway, that provided me with a closet, and,
That was sure a makeshift closet. Damn, I'm thinking about that. There was another bunch of nails sticking through them.
a little tiny
Oh,
closet.
you're a little tiny person, Mary. So what the hell do you need?
Well,
Oh
that
shit!
Jim, I didn't have near the clothes that I have now. God, I guess. I don't know.
Not many people have the number of clothes.
That clothes that I have? No, that's right, Jim. I have a lot of clothes.
Well, I'm just trying to earn a way into your life.
You
Just listening. Now that I realize how pathetic I was as I
you
tried to do that.
on. Oh, and during that time, you, had started seeing, your shrink,
Yeah.
remember?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And, it was in the summer,
Right.
and, so, uh, you were seeing the shrink, and she allowed you to, record your,
That was when they
sessions.
weren't nearly as self-protective because so I got my money's worth. The sessions were expensive. Of course, she was a well-known psychiatrist, and I would record the sessions and listen to every one of them after the fact.
Yes, again and again,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. It helped.
And, as we got closer, you would let me listen a little bit.
Right. Just a
Not
little bit.
always,
No, it was too
not always.
too
It was
intense to
too
do it. Yeah.
intense
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And then a little bit, uh, it was between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I think you decided, uh, or maybe she decided that, she wanted to meet me. So you took me to
Right.
meet her, and I went with you to one of your sessions,
Yeah.
and I met her.
Yeah.
She was an Austrian?
Originally from Austria.
Austria?
The accent.
So she had a heavy accent
She'd been, I think, trained in Canada then, or had been in Canada
or
prior to coming
something.
here.
Anyway, yes, it was
Turns out in retrospect, I mean, I just came into it sort of by accident, but in retrospect was a pretty well-known psychiatrist.
Yes.
Old times when when psychotherapy just went on and on and on, they didn't do any quick fixes, and frankly, I'm not sure I was up for a super quick fix. I had to do some
Well,
delving, about as much as I could stand, I think, during it. We're not gonna go into in detail because
but we did do that.
yes,
Wait a minute.
together.
To we did it together and separately
Exactly.
for 5 years.
Yeah. Thank you,
And,
Mary, for putting up with me.
I do think that that allowed us to start off in a good relationship.
I think that it forced us to think about the relationship.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
it's so easy to come into a relationship, and it seems like a great idea, and I'm glad that it allowed you to see what you were dealing with me. I mean, I know it was a
Yeah.
handful, Mary, and
Well,
thank
no,
you, okay?
don't behave that way, Jim, because this is my thought, honey.
Yeah.
I knew you were a good man.
Well, thank you, because I
I
wasn't sure.
knew you were a good man.
Well, I
You
wasn't
might have been
sure.
crazy, but
I was
you
that. I
were a
know.
good man, and that was the most important thing to me, that
You.
you were a good man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we almost used up the time for this segment, and listen, she says that she knew that I was a good man. I knew she was a good woman all the time, okay? And I knew that she was an incredibly strong-willed woman and that had integrity that was beyond it. But if she's acknowledging now that she thought I was a good man, I'd like to just wrap it up right there, Mary,
Okay.
because this is a little weepy for me right now. So thank you. And thank all of you for listening. This has been, thank you, Mary, and me to you, all right? Wait,
Yes.
this is we're wrapping up episode 16 of the Focus Your Inner Bitch, the Mary Bratton story on the Jim Bratton podcast. Thank you all for watching, for listening, and we'll join you again with episode 17. Thank you again. Thanks, Mary, for sticking with me.
I love you.
Me too, you.